GoddamnFitness.com, your number one for research supplements. All right, today we're going to read blood lab work to challenge your doctor. So we're going to go through a case study where we're going to analyze blood health work, the lipid panel review, lipid panel analysis, cholesterol, the cholesterol's feedback, vitamin deficiencies, hormone deficiencies, and we'll come to a conclusion that'll help you analyze your blood work much better. All right, so if you see the analysis here, the red blood cells are showing as high. This is a complete blood count. So regarding it, it's slightly above the high average. So anytime the blood gets thicker, donating blood is a good idea. Approximately a pint of blood in the scenario, and check your lab work every 6 to 8 weeks. This will help you kind of slowly bring this down to better levels. All right, so with the example of this analysis, his LAP and glucose are showing as high, so it's a suspicion of steroid use. So again, like we said, it needs to be reviewed every 6 to 8 weeks to get this to the better ranges. The patient needs to be aware that tough workouts could cause this to rise, and it could happen before a blood test. So take it easy before a blood test and fast. Insulin and growth hormone can help counterbalance this when eating food. So it's pretty much related to insulin spikes. But since the patient is 300 pounds, it could be potentially clotting that can lead to a stroke or heart attack. So that's obviously not a good thing, and it really needs to be kept closely watched. The good news is that it's easy to be treated. A drug like metformin can be useful. It's used with people who have diabetes. So essentially when you're eating carbohydrates, it helps process these much better. So it's something that needs to be watched carefully because it could lead to very bad side effects. All right, cholesterol. So the cholesterol here, you're seeing it's showing as high, HDL showing as low, and LDL is showing as high. So since the patient was fasted, the cholesterol and lipid panels can vary. The ratio is pretty interesting though. Cholesterol was a little high and the HDL was low, like we mentioned. So the concern really is the LDL. So the platelets and blood cells are running through his veins, which make blood thicker and thicker. This cholesterol repairs tissue and mixed hormones. This can build up around damaged artery walls, which cause plaque caused by the diet and hormones of the patient. So diet and hormones need to be better calculated. We can tell that the chemistry is a little bit off here. So even if the diet is on point, hormonal drugs will affect lipid profiles regardless. Essentially, this is what 10 years of steroid abuse will do as a result. It's easy to fix these concerns once they're diagnosed regularly, but in this study, it's better to put extreme emphasis to reverse this as soon as possible. So this really needs to be continuously reviewed following each lab test, and action should be set in place to ensure optimal health. Right, in this year related to vitamins, so we see vitamin D and vitamin B12 are showing as low within the ranges. Everything else is showing on par. So with his vitamin D levels is showing as low. This happens to a lot of people. It's a deficiency pretty much in the sun. You can get prescription pharma grade injectable vitamin D that could work, but it's tough to get a hold of. You would need to be chronically deficient in this to get a prescription, but just sunlight exposure, and just be careful to not get too much, and probably consult with a dermatologist once a year to make sure everything's okay. Right, vitamin B12 was shown as low, and this is probably related to just the diet I think the bodybuilder was taking, and obviously the supplements. So it's essential to take maybe vitamin B12 as a daily supplement. It's pretty easy to get in any pharmacy. You could go a step further and get injectable types of vitamin B12. These are always essential in the body. So diet and supplements are going to cause some issues here. But to get optimal health back to the general ranges, this is the best approach. Right, hormones. The total testosterone, well, the patient was taking 1,000 milligrams of testosterone per week. and the total count was 1,000 or 2,160. The general range is between 270 and 1,070. So it's a bit all over the place. The patient was taking an Arimidex 3 times per week. But again, the estrogen is shown a little bit tricky here. So something's not correct. The thing we suspected was that the doctor prescribed the patient a generic brand. So it doesn't sound like it's actually working. Believe it or not, this is actually possible. I mean, sometimes chemicals made in plants don't come out as suspected. There could be a bad batch. It's possible the manufacturer was bad even when prescribed. So even if they're from a Western country, good healthcare, doesn't matter. So it's just something to always take control of yourself, guys. Always beware of these things yourself so you can add additional feedback to your doctor. So it could be something related to the Arimidex as well, but we suspect it's something to do with the medication. So progesterone is shown as normal, which indicates that there's something wrong with the supplements he's taking. So it could be also bad steroids. He could be getting them from a bad manufacturer. That could be upsetting his total testosterone count. So to recap, the analysis of this, of course, is for the health of the patient. And you know, in the long term, it'll actually benefit his physique as well. The idea is to troubleshoot areas around this issue. So a full review of the source of hormones is vital since his hormones are out of the general ranges. Donating blood helps with the red blood cells. Like we mentioned earlier, giving too much blood is not a good idea either. So a healthy balance. Since the patient is over 240 pounds, sleep apnea devices are good, just in case. The blood of the patient is too thick. So cutting down on the hormones, growth hormone and insulin won't work. The patient does growth hormone. The longer the patient does growth hormone, the more the patient will desensitize. Metformin might be useful for insulin sensitivity. Supplements like NAC, milk thistle as well, and natural testosterone boosters will slowly help natural resensitization. Right? More oxygen and nutrients will be delivered to the muscle. The chemistry is currently out of sync, but once it's corrected, it'll not only benefit the health of the patient, but the future goals of breaking these previous plateaus that he couldn't get over. So I hope this gives you more insight on why you need to get blood work done, and you need to check yourself once you take research chemicals like SARMs, growth hormone, or steroids, anything that's going to change your hormones. It's really just educating people, because people think they need to break plateaus by doing more testosterone, but that's not always the case. So just be aware of this. So I hope this video finds you well. Of course, there's always some side effects between steroids, supplements, and research chemicals. Some of them aren't approved by the FDA or not fit for human consumption. So check your local laws by the time you view this video. If you like it, give us a pound below, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more cutting edge information. Thanks for listening, guys.